Alright there YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Back with the Duramax here. Got a couple little issues I want to correct on this before I move on to other things. I really need to be done working on this, getting back on old red and a few other things here. But I don't think this is going to take too long, but there's a couple of body issues on this truck that I want to address before they get worse. Basically, the worst thing we got going on here is right on this door. See, we got some rust starting, and it's actually a really odd spot to have some rust, but I'm thinking what happened is I'm thinking the door got opened into something, it chipped the paint, moisture got in under the paint, and it's been starting to spread. I want to address this before it gets worse. Other than that, this is a really rust-free truck. There's a little bit of rust starting on the back of this rocker panel. Now you can see that somebody spray painted these rockers, and I think it's more because one problem with these Chevy trucks is just the way this is laid out, and people get in and out. They tend to drag their boots across and they rub the paint off of the rockers. Over here on the driver's side, you can see this rocker is extremely clean. There's no rust at all on this rocker, but if you look at the driver's door here, you can see not only is the spray paint all rubbed off, but the factory paint is rubbed down to bare metal here. Now, we're not really going to address these rockers that much right now, besides maybe a little My plan is, this truck's actually got a really clean bed in it, but there's no bed liner in it. I want to do a bed liner. I found a product I want to try out. It's a do-it-yourself bed liner, but it's a two-part, so it should be a lot more durable and stable than the typical one. So I want to try that on this. When I do the bed, I want to do the rocker panels with bed liner as well, maybe something a little more durable. And then the last spot's up here on the roof. See, good old Chevy paint. It's kind of separated and flaked off, and just this one rib right here, along here, the paint's completely gone. It's starting to rust, so I want to do something with that. I don't care what this repair up here looks like. Unless you're 8 feet tall, you're never going to see it, but I want to get that cleaned up, sealed up. Now, this spot on the door here, I'm hoping we're catching this soon enough that we don't have to replace any metal here. See when we get dug into it, but we're gonna fix this. There's also a spot on this door here. Because this truck was being used commercially and he was running magnetic signs, I think what happened here, some dirt got under that magnetic sign and rubbed on the paint. So we're gonna end up repainting this door. Now, we're not gonna paint the whole door. We're gonna paint this area here, a little paint right here. Then we're gonna scuff the whole door and clear it, blend it in. This should actually use very little material. I'm also gonna, there's a little bit of loose rust. You might need to do a little metal repair right here, but I don't want to get too deep into that. I'll probably just clean the flaking paint off right there, and then a little on the rocker. Call that good for right now. But other than that, you know, just some typical stuff. You got some scratches in the paint, a few little dings here and there. I don't care about any of that stuff. I plan to keep this truck for myself, and I use my trucks as trucks, so they're gonna have dings and scratches, just part of it. That's why I don't buy new trucks. Now, I know a lot of people would be really tempted just to leave this be. It doesn't really catch your eye. It's still all the same color. You know, that you wouldn't see it just walking by the truck. You know, your eye wouldn't necessarily be drawn to this, but I'm telling you guys, this bubbly stuff like this will hold moisture like crazy, and this will rust faster than bare metal. Guarantee it. So that's the main reason why we're really going to address this spot right now. Alright, so I found a couple other little rust bubble areas here. As long as we're working on this door anyway, might as well get them too. It could probably use a little patch in there, but I'm not wanting to get into all that. You can also see there's some old body filler in here. So something's been done in this area before. I don't know if maybe this door got hit or something, they repainted it, but we're going to use some of this stuff here. This is an acid base. basically the acid that's in this not only dissolves rust, but it converts it into a different oxide that doesn't really promote the rust to continue. So we're gonna spray some of this on here. You can see how this stuff's a fairly thick gel, so it clings really well, but you can see how we're kind of getting some bubbling and some reaction in here. We're gonna let this soak for quite a while, and then we're gonna wire brush it and then start prepping it to repaint it. Alright, so after cleaning this up, wire wheeling it, phosphoric acid gel, cleaning this all up, got all bare metal. There did end up being a couple little pinholes in this. There's one there, one there, one there. Now I am going to go back behind the door and treat the backside. Now I'm no professional body man, and there's no way you could ever warranty this repair, but as an attempt to try to make sure that we don't get any moisture back through the backside into our body filler, I'm going to skim coat this with JB Weld. Try to make sure that we plug up any of those pinholes. Any competent body man probably would have got that first shot. However, I did not. I left a low spot right in the middle. Should have it now. Go ahead and we'll knock this down with BA. Alright, so we're pretty much ready to paint this here now. Got the spot up on the roof ready to go too. This will be a good demonstration of the importance of blending, because I'm not going to blend that up there. It's just taped off square. And I'm going to blend this. Now, if I really cared on this, I would blend into the bed here as well and then clear the whole bed. But I think I'm going to be just perfectly happy with this. After the sealer primer, I put a coat of filler primer on, and then I blocked this entire door out with 400 and then 600 grit sandpaper. And you can see that there's a lot of original paint on here that's scuffed, ready for clear, so we've got a lot of blend area to blend this in this way. We are going to be painted up against an edge here, but we do have a body line to separate it, so I think it's going to be okay. But let me get some paint mixed up and start spraying and blending this. After about a 15-minute flash time, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my second coat down. You're going to see that I'm going to continue my paint out a little bit further from where I did on the first coat. So I'm getting ready to put my third coat down here, and I see that there's a little bit of dust in the paint. So there's two different positions on the handle on the spray gun. If you push it just a little bit, it'll blow some air, but it won't blow any paint. So I'm just using that in a tack rag to clean the dust off of the paint. You're also going to notice that I'm going to use a much larger, much more sweeping motion as I spray my paint on this coat. That's going to help the
colors and any difference between the colors to help blend it in. So I'm going to cover quite a bit more area on this coat than I did on the previous ones.
That's going to be kind of our blend area there, and when we clear coat this should all just kind of melt together. Now for the paint gun that I'm using on this, I'm just using this little Harbor Freight cheapy touch-up gun. I might get out my big gun to shoot the clear here, I'm not really sure. Give it a good half an hour so we make sure we don't trap any solvents, and then we're go ahead and clear coat this. And I have been doing the roof spot as well at the same time.
Sound of the thunder with the rain pouring down, and it looks like the old man is getting old. 1920, he stepped to the bar, drank to the dregs of his whiskey jar. 1930, when the wall fell in, made his way selling red-eyed gin. Brown-eyed women in red grenadine. The bottle was dusty, but the liquor was clean. Sound of the thunder with the rain pouring down, and it looks like the old man is getting old. Lila Jones was a mother of twins, 2 times over, and the others were sick.
Alright, now that's with the first coat of clear. I noticed with that little touch-up gun trying to spray clear with it, I don't know that I've ever actually sprayed clear with it, but you really got to slow down to get it to wet out nice. Now, this paint is not a very close match at all, but because we blended it, it should look alright, but that is a much lighter silver than the color of the truck. So I think it's going to look just fine, but it definitely, that paint wasn't a very good match. It was just mixed off the paint code, wasn't custom mixed or anything, so. Alright, so overall that came out pretty nice. Can't really see the blend. Curious when we get it unmasked how obvious that corner is going to be, because it is a fairly different color, but overall I'm pretty happy. Gonna let it dry up a little bit longer and then we'll get her unwrapped here. Alright, so that blends pretty good. That body line there is enough. It distracts from the color difference. There is a color difference, but it's harder to see. Front door definitely needs to be buffed out to match up. And then you can see the difference of, if you don't blend, you can see the obvious color difference. You can also see the hard tape lines. But yeah, that shows you right there just how much of a color difference there is between those two paints. But that'll work for me. No one's ever going to see this up here. Alright, so the next thing here now, you can see pretty big difference in shine from the new paint to the old paint on the front door there. Kind of stands out a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and just buff this door out real quick.
I don't wanna lose this good day that I got. 'Cause if I do, I will share, yeah, of lose a life. 'Cause love is better.
Alright, so this paint's had a few days to flash off here now. It looks pretty good to me. It's honestly not perfect, but it's good enough for who and what it's for, so I'm happy with that. Now this door had actually been repainted in the past. I found when I took the inner door panel off, you could see marks where a stud gun was used to pull a dent out across the bottom of the door. And I don't think that they had this paint match perfect when this door was repaired previously in the past, because this part of this door where I put no color is darker than this front door. But where I put color is actually a closer match to the rest of the body, so go figure. But anyway, it looks pretty good to me. I'm pretty happy with it. Catch you on the next video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe down below. Thank you. Have a great day.